Hey everybody, welcome to the Tournament Pulse YouTube channel. I wanted to take this time to just kind of introduce a segment that I want to start doing. It's going to be the Tournament Pulse hand review, tournament review. And I want to just thank y'all for popping back in, checking in. I'm also going to post this into my Facebook group as well. So if y'all are following there, you can catch the link there as well. So today I want to break down something special. I want to break down Frank's run at TCH's Even Bigger One tournament. So let's jump right into the action. The final table where Frank comes in fourth in chips with 3.14 million. Blinds are starting at 80,160 with the 160,000 ante. Now Frank actually started with 3.46 million, so we can see that he let a few orbits pass without playing a hand, which is totally fine at a final table when you're trying to get a feel for the dynamics. Things started heating up a little bit, up on about hand number 10. After a few folds, the low jack opens with king deuce of diamonds to about 350k. That's about a 2.2x raise. The cutoff folds and Frank looks down at pocket jacks on the button. With about 2.5 million behind, he's sitting on roughly 15 big blinds here, and he makes what I think is the right play, shoving all in. But here's where things get interesting. TJ in the small blind wakes up with big slick, ace king. After counting down Frank's stack, TJ makes the call. King deuce of diamonds gets out of the way, and we're looking at a classic flip. Jack jack versus ace king. This is honestly standard tournament poker from both players. The poker god smile on Frank here, and he scoops a massive $5.76 million pot, while TJ gets crippled down to 895,000, and that's just 5 big blinds, okay? Moving on to hand number 14. Frank's in the under the gun +1 spot with ace-9 offsuit. He opens to 600,000. Now the blinds are at 100, 200, 200k. So this is a full 3x raise. Quick note here. At these stap decks, you really don't need to go bigger than 2x or 2.3x to get folds. But here's what I really wanted to point out. After winning the blinds uncontested, Frank shows an ace to the table. Guys, this is something I strongly recommend against. You're giving away free information and the players are already trying to figure out what your raise sizes mean. When you show, you're just confirming whatever their assumptions might have been. So please, please do not show your hands. You really don't know who you're playing against. You don't know the skill level of any of these guys. You don't know their memory recall. You just don't know anything about them. So to be showing them, giving them free information, something I strongly do not recommend. All right, now moving on to hand number 21. Frank is now sitting pretty with about 6.3 million. But let's take a look at this next spot. A shorter stack jams for 1.6 million. And Frank makes what looks like a standard call with ace queen, but having about a 3-to-1 chip advantage. The villain shows pocket eights, and sometimes you just can't dodge the flip. Frank doesn't hit, and the short stack doubles. Now, I want to bring up one other point here, because you got to remember these flip spots in the tournament at this stage of the game. These spots mean a lot more, because every spot you win or you lose, you're going to move up in chip value, okay? And your ICM value, all right? So it's arguable here. Ace queen could be a fold here, okay? Because to call off here, we have to call off about 20% of our stack, okay? And if we call off and we lose a flip, we move further and further away from that ICM value of having a significant ICM hit. If we call off and we miss, especially in a flip situation, we just move further down the rank. Ultimately, I definitely do think ace queen is still a call, but I think it could go either way. I think we kind of have to assume that some of the stacks are going to be shoving with stronger hands, okay, because there's big money up top, big money at risk. But ace queen might be one of those hands that is just too big to fold. So nothing wrong with the call here. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but you know, it's poker, it's tournaments, and you just can't dodge the flip. Okay, now we come to hand number 24, which is probably the most interesting spot of this tournament session. Frank's down to about 4.1 1.14 million. This is after he just lost to flip ace queen versus pocket eights. And now he opens under the gun +1 to 800,000. That is a really big raise. Frank goes 4x here, which I really don't recommend. We really don't want to be varying our raise sizes with different hand strengths. Again, this is why I consistently say that using a consistent sizing is important. You just don't want to telegraph the strength of your hands. The chip leader takes a beat, then he thinks about it for a second, and then he 3-bets to 1.8 million. This puts Frank in a really tough spot. His hand here is just too strong to fold, and there's some serious ICM pressure here. Remember, TJ is still hanging around, and TJ only has 4 blinds left. He can only survive 2 more orbits before blinding out. And I'm not saying Frank should fold here, but the ICM implications are huge. If we go bust here, we're looking at just around 5,140 for 9th place money. And our current stack of about 4th or 5th position is worth about 8 to 11,000 in potential earnings. So what's the play here? Frank started with 4.1 million, raised to 800,000, leaving 3.3 behind. The 3-bet from the chip leader is asking for another million. It's ugly, but I think flatting might be the best option here. We can check fold bad flops, and if we see an ace, we can get it in. Even if we have to fold, we still have 2.3 million behind, which is about 11 big blinds, but Frank takes the more aggressive line and ships it. The chip leader calls, of course, and sometimes that's just tournament poker. Frank does not catch a favorable run out. The chip leader ends up having pocket 6s, and Frank exits the tournament for 9th place, which is $5,140. So that's gonna do it. Now, obviously we don't know what the future holds when we play a hand, but what we do know is that TJ had 4 blinds left. So a couple of takeaways from this. I think we could have gone smaller pre-flop. I think we could have made a standard 2x raise to about 400,000. Okay, so if we have to fold, we don't have so much committed into the pot, and we still have a big shot to be competitive in the tournament. Another point is that TJ having 4 blinds, just not a spot where we should be committing ourselves against the chip leader to the point to where we can get eliminated. We don't want to end up exiting the tournament with $5,140 when, based on our chip value, we should get a lot more. Because now TJ, when we lose, he goes up and he now gets $6,100 now. So, you know, all in all, this was a rough spot. You know, Frank is a great competitor. Great to have him in tournaments. And, you know, we just want to look at this and, hey, it's a learning experience. I'm glad he played. I'm glad that I could take this time to do a review for y'all. So, you know, hey, till next time. That's going to do it for the Tournament Pulse review. If you enjoyed this analysis, please make sure to hit the like button and follow me for more tournament content strategy. I'm working on getting the website up and running, and this segment will be a regular feature. Let me know in the comments what hands and tournaments you'd like to see reviewed next. All right. See you later, guys.